Let's just take a moment and just appreciate God. Appreciate Him for how far He has brought you. Appreciate Him for the wondrous things He has done in your life. Appreciate Him for His mercy, for His kindness, for His provision. Appreciate Him for His protection. So many went out this morning, but this evening they found themselves in the hospital. So many would have wished for the place where you are right now. So many would have wanted to trade place with you. Just appreciate God for His faithfulness over your life. Appreciate Him for His grace over your life. Appreciate Him for His mercy over your life. In Jesus' mighty name we have prayed. In Jesus' mighty name we have prayed. Let us be seated. Once again, you're welcome to church. Just say to the person beside you, say, welcome to church. I say to the person beside you or in front of you or behind you, say, welcome to church. Last week, we started a series, the School of Prosperity. And we touched on some things that last week. I'm from this school of thoughts. I would want to ask one or two persons, what is that thing that you took home last week? Just one or two persons, so that we know that at least somebody is taking something home. Who want to speak for us? What is that one thing that you took home last week? Anybody? Nobody. Anybody? Nobody. One thing you took home last week.
Good evening. From last week, we studied about prosperity and what it means individually to us. And from your definition, it's a state of being wealthy. And we also looked on some misconceptions that we Christians have towards what prosperity is. And one of them I took note of is saying money is the root of all evil, and also saying that once you are saved, you don't have to worry about anything, even if it's finances or all those things. So that's my take home for me, like the misconceptions generally about what we see or what we perceive prosperity to be as Christians.
Awesome, fantastic. Any other person? Okay, the reason why in every of my classes I always ask, what did you take home? Is because we have a lot of people, they are bag of knowledge. They just keep gathering knowledge. Because it is what you take home. I always say this, at every given point in your life, you only need one thing. You don't need too many things. At every given point in your life, because the challenges or the problem or the situation that you find yourself is a network of series of smaller challenges and situations. So if you find the answer to one thing, it leads to many other things. That is how it works. So that's why we always say, what is that one thing that you feel this is what I took home in all of what was said? Because you don't need everything. You just need one thing to change your life. I always say this, if you remove the letter U from the alphabet, and you take out the letter U, as insignificant as letter U is, you are going to lose over 36,000 words. That's how significant one thing can be. You know, if I give you a brand new car, and here is a key of a brand new car, and you go outside and you realize that one of the tires is missing, that car is useless. Until you fix the tire, you can't move it away from that place. That's why it's important in a meeting like this, you are looking for that one thing that is missing in your life, the missing link. You are not looking for too many things. So at every given point in time, you're asking yourself, what is it that I am not doing right that I need answered for? And that is what you should be looking out for. The next question I always ask in a class like this is, when I ask, what is that one thing you take home? The next question is, what did you apply? Because application is the major part of anything you are learning. If you are not applying, it is useless. Application is very important. And that's why the key to success, or when we look at the people who are successful, you realize that they are people who knows how to apply things almost immediately. If you say, oh, I just want to write down until that perfect time, there is never a perfect time. All you need to do is to find out one thing that you need to apply almost immediately, and you start seeing results. Result in one's life is not magic. It requires application of what you need to do almost immediately. So we are going to continue from where we stopped. Last week we looked at a prosperity overview, and we tried to define prosperity. We looked at some misconception about prosperity. But this week we are going to look at the key ingredients for prosperity. The key ingredients for prosperity. Because prosperity has ingredients. Everything has a key. Everything has a key. If you want to win a man's heart, there is a key that will open the man's heart. If you want to enter into your house, there is a key. No matter how mighty the door is, there is always one small thing that you need to put into the hole, and it opens the door. And the same way, when we talk about prosperity, there are some significant things that you need to do that will open the door. I'm going to take the scripture today from the book of Matthew chapter 25. I may not be able to run through all. Matthew 25, we're meant to run from 14 to 30. But I will read few of the verses so that we can understand. Most of us, we know the story. He said, it is also like a man, I'm reading the Message translation. It is also like a man going off on an extended trip. That is, a man that is traveling. He called his servants together and delegated responsibilities. To one, he gave 5. To one, he gave 5. Some translation will tell you 5 talents. But the translation I'm reading, he said, to one, he gave $5,000. That is the equivalent of the talent. He said to another, $2,000. And to a third one, $1,000. Depending on their ability. He didn't give them because he just wanted to give them. This is Jesus talking. Because sometimes we have that misconception. Because I'm in Christ, God will give me anything. He gave them depending on their ability, what they can do with it. And if you read that story very well straight down, after he gave them that money, he went on the journey. And after some time, he returned. The conclusion he had at the back of his mind is that these 3 people, they've been mentored by this man that is on a journey. They have taught him, he has taught them a lot about business, about life. And so he gave them that money after he has tested their ability. So his intention is that since I'm going to be away for a while, but trading on my behalf, so that when I come back, we will have profit still. It's not as if I am away and everything is on standstill. And the man, he gave 5 talents or $5,000. The man traded it and doubled the money. The second man too traded it, doubled the money. But the third man took the money, put it in a bank, his own ideology of the bank, he buried it. And when the master returned, he went and brought out the money and gave it to the master. And he said, I did it because I knew that you are a shrewd businessman. You like making money where you are not supposed to make money from. And we all know the story what the master told him. But we just want to pick something out there. The master, when he was leaving, those 3 people, they didn't understand what the master did for them. The master gave them the opportunity to enter into the threshold of prosperity. He gave them the opportunity for them to access prosperity. He gave them the opportunity for them to be like him. At least, even if for a while, be your own CEO. Gather your own stuff. Make your own decision. Not that you are waiting for me to make decision for you. 2 amongst them understood what the master was doing. But the last one didn't have any perception of what the master was doing. In his own head, he was still waiting for command and instruction from the master. And that was why he buried the money. So there was an opportunity for that man, for him to be prosperous. But to cut the long story short, he missed that opportunity. And so it is a story. But try to put yourself in that story. As you are seated here, God has given you opportunity to enter into prosperity. To some, he has given 5,000. To some, he has given 3. To some, he has given 1. There is nobody on earth, quote me anywhere, there is nobody on earth that God has not given the opportunity to become prosperous. It is your decision. So the earlier you settle that at the back of your mind, the better for you. Somebody was in my office earlier today, and she said, Mr. Alfred, you don't know what I've gone through. You don't know what I've been through. I've been through a lot in such a way that I don't think there is anything for me. And I said, well, it is your story that you are saying, and it is unfortunate that you are hanging on to your story. You are hanging on to your past. You don't want to hear some people's story. And so when I started bringing out some of my own story, she was like, are you serious? You went through all of this? Yes. It is because a lot of us, we make excuses for ourselves. And because we make excuses for ourselves, we don't tend to see the prosperity channel that has been opened up onto us. And that's what I need us to do this evening. Open up your mind to the prosperity channel that God has made available for you. No matter where you are or where you find yourself right now, there is a prosperity channel that has been opened onto you. Whether you are in the category of the 5,000 or 5 talent, or in the category of those in the middle with 3 talent, or in the category of 1, just know that you have the opportunity, the same opportunity that has been given to everybody. So this evening, we are going to be looking at the objectives, what we intend to achieve for this meeting. Number 1, having sellable skills for career or business growth. Having sellable skills for career or business growth. Then number 2, effective time management. Then number 3, relationship and people's management, social capital and networking. Those are what we are going to be looking at. Having sellable skill for career or business growth, effective time management, relationship or people's management, social capital and networking. That is what we want to achieve. When I said earlier, the key ingredient for prosperity, these are some major key ingredients for prosperity. These are some major key ingredients for prosperity. So we start with the first one, having sellable skill for career or business growth. It's unfortunate that our projector is not working, but please follow me. We'll still enjoy it all the same. Having sellable skill for career or business growth. One of the factors of prosperity is wealth. To have money, you must have a product or service or skill that you are selling. There is nobody that is going to be prosperous. So the earlier you accept that, the better for you. If you are thinking in the line with, I want to make money, or I want to be prosperous, or I want to be rich, or I want to be wealthy, you must have one of these 3 things. Either you have a product that you are selling, or you have a service that you are selling, or you have a skill that you can sell. So if you don't have any of these 3, then you are not even in the category of those who can be close to being successful or being rich or being prosperous. So those are the 3 things. So as you are seated there, I'm just saying this to challenge you. If you are poor or you are broke, it is either you are not selling something or you don't have what to sell. It's as simple as that. If you realize that you are poor or you realize that you are broke, it means that you are not selling anything. You must be selling something. Because if you are not selling it, then you cannot be rich. Like I said, the person that was earlier in my office this morning, I said, "Do you have a product you are selling?" He said, "Yes, I have a product." So she gave me a background of places that she has worked. And in the process of telling me the background of places she has worked, she told me about working as a thrift collector. You know what those thrift collector? In an organization, she was a thrift collector in that organization. And when she got to that aspect of talking about the thrift collecting, I can see the brightness on her face. She said, "You know, even when it is raining, the water will get up to this place. I will enter into it. I will get to those market women. I will talk to them, get money." And they were giving me money. They don't even know me. And some of them give me money where they are supposed to be saving just 1,000 naira per day. Some are giving me 20,000, 30,000, 50,000, 100,000. And I was keeping it for them. So after she was done, and I asked her, I said, "Why didn't you apply the same strategy in this your own product that you are selling?" Because you came to me to tell me that your product is not selling. You have a product. But you could do that for somebody else. But you can't do the same for yourself. For somebody else, you went through the rain. Water will get up to this place, and you are still going. But for your own, you are sitting in the comfort of your home, and you are waiting for whatever happened on the Instagram promotion is what I'm going to be relying on. You are not dressed every morning to tell yourself, "On this street alone, we have over 3,000 houses. Can I knock on 50 doors today?" Some will tell you, "Don't come again." Some will tell you, "Oh, thief, you want to come and rob us." But you are doing the same strategy that you are applying for your own business. So I was trying to make her understand the secret to your wealth, the secret to your prosperity is in the palm of your hand. But you are not ready for the commitment. But you are ready to do the same commitment for someone who has decided to give you a small wage. But you are not ready to do it for yourself. So what am I trying to say in essence? If you need to set yourself in a perspective of prosperity, you must have a product or service or skill that you are selling. What makes money for you is called skill, product, or service. That is what makes money for you. It is either your skill, the product you are selling, or the service that you are selling. Skills means to have the capacity. Now I'm trying to define skill. Skill means to have the capacity or to be trained to do a particular task. You have the capacity or you can be trained to do a particular task. So when we say skill now, we can say a fashion designer has a skill. We can say an hairdresser has a skill. A baker has a skill. An accountant has a skill. A lawyer has a skill. Even a talker has a skill. A comedian is a skill. You understand me? All these are skills that are sellable. You only make money from skill. So skills are things that you have the capacity or the ability to do. That is what we call skill. So if we say skill is what you have the capacity or the ability to do, the question you now need to ask yourself, what is the skill that I am selling? Or what is the product that I am selling? Or what is the service that I am selling? If you don't have any of these three, then maybe we need to have a one-on-one discussion on that so that we can find one of those three for you. But I believe every human being has a skill. I know of an organization, I walked into that organization and I was talking to the CEO. I said, "This is your front desk girl. She has a very beautiful smile." She said, "Mr. Alfred, that's the reason why I employed her." He didn't employ her because he just feel this a smile can open door for anybody. He said, "That's the reason why I'm employed her." And so when we moved and we're going to the man's office, I said, "Give me a minute." I came back. I came to whisper in the lady's ear. I said, "See, your smile is your skill. It's the reason why you are getting paid here. The earlier you understand, the better for you." And I moved. Because some of us, we don't know. And that's how some of us, even as we are seated, you don't even know that even your high balls can be skills. Yes. Your smile can be a skill. The way you walk can be a skill. That's why they call them model. You understand me? If you've gone through 4 years to run a particular program, what you earn at the end of that program is not the certificate. It is a skill that you are supposed to sell. It is painful when you see people who are graduates and they are telling themselves they are looking for a job. And you see them going about with the certificate looking for a job. Why? Because they have not come to recognize that I already have a skill that I can sell at any given point in time. That is a story for another day. But to have a sellable skill, you must invest in what we call intangible investment. When you discover your skill, you must invest in what we call intangible investment. What do we call intangible investment? Investment that you invest in yourself. You have to invest in yourself. That is what we mean by intangible investment. So if you have a skill, invest in yourself. You know, it's so amazing, it's so funny when you see some people. You look at them, they don't even look like what they said they are selling. They don't even look like what they said they are selling. At every given point in time, you must not be caught unaware. You must look like what you are selling at every given point in time. That is the investment you do for yourself. If you need to take courses, you take courses. Some of us, we have not even come to realize that even buying clothes for yourself is an investment. It is an investment. It is an investment. Looking good is an investment. Some people will do things or do business with you because you are looking good, not for anything. They just know that, oh, that person, she's always sharp. He's always sharp. So it is an investment. So the first thing you must do when you realize that, oh, I have a skill that I can sell, then invest in that skill. If we take the statistic here and say, in the last 1 month, I don't want to say in the last 1 week, in the last 1 month, how many of us have deliberately attend a training or a seminar or a conference that directly impacts on your skill that you are selling? It may be very hard. It may be very hard. And that's the first thing you see those who are prosperous do. Once they know that this is what I want to make money for, they find every way to invest in it. They find every platform so that the more you have understanding of that industry, the easier it is for you to make money in that industry. It's as simple as this. When you put me and Pastor Kenny, say, in my apartment, it's a 3-bedroom apartment, and you put both of us in the bedroom, and you off all the entire light, and it's thick darkness, and you say, both of you, without assisting yourself, get out of the apartment. Who is going to get out first? It's me. It's my apartment. I know the terrain in the dark. If I hit my leg against the bed, I know the distance of the bed to the door, to the next door, to the next door, till I get out. That is how an industry is. That you have the certificate, it's not a guarantee. So you need to keep developing yourself, investing in yourself. As you invest in yourself, you begin to have access into the industry. You begin to understand some areas of the industry that are not open to you. So investing in yourself is very key. We don't have much time. Maybe as time goes on later in some of our service, we'll break this thing down, because investing in yourself goes in several areas. Like I said, you can invest in your clothes. You can invest in the way you talk. You can invest in your diction. Some of us, they speak with our Igbotic and Yoruba tonation. And you just tell yourself, na so they talk. It's not na so they talk. That will not open doors for you in some areas. As some people you will want to talk to tomorrow, they are irritated for the fact that you have tonation. Some of us, we go for job interview. The reason why you are not employed, you don't know, is because of your tonation. Some of us, you look at yourself and you keep hiding that your weakness. You can't speak good English. Instead of you to start saying, oh, let me look for an evening class where I can teach myself how to speak well. You are hiding. You have to expose yourself to those things. Those are investments that you must do for yourself. Let's move quickly because we don't have much time. So like I said, investing in yourself. The second thing we are going to look for, that's the first ingredient, invest in yourself. The second key is effective time management. Effective time management. It is unfortunate that in our country, perhaps Africa at large, we have conditioned ourselves to accept what we call African time. It's so unfortunate. You see somebody that's supposed to be at a meeting or an event at 10 o'clock. It is at 10 o'clock that the person will wake up. And the person will say, I'm on my way. Or we have that notion or that conclusion that they will not start. So at 10 o'clock, they can't start by 10. They will start by 11. And so there were these two couples. They left Nigeria to the Western world. And they were supposed to attend a wedding. So the usual way now, the wife was doing the makeup. The husband was waiting. After they were done, they said, well, these people, they will not start on time. You know, Nigerian mentality. They will not start on time. So they went 1 hour into when they feel, oh, the euphoria of the event will be loud. So they can just come in. And by the time they got to the event, the place was deserted. Is there no... So luckily for them, they saw one person say, they have finished event 30 minutes ago. Because they didn't understand that African time is only unique to us here in Nigeria. And the fact that you are a Nigerian, one of the things that has kept you where you are is the fact that you are working with African time. I will do it tomorrow. I will do it later. I will be there later. Don't worry, they will wait for me. You see somebody going to the highland for a meeting at, say, 11 o'clock. You understood the traffic that you are going to face. And the person will leave home at 9:30, 10. And wants to arrive there at 11 o'clock. It's impossible. It's impossible. I have to be honest, like tomorrow I have a meeting on the island for 11 o'clock. I already told the guy that we are going together. I said, we're leaving here 8:30 a.m. I would rather stay there and be waiting than for me to be on the road and I'm telling the person I'm in traffic. I've never done that in over 15 years. I can't be in traffic. Because what you don't know is the fact that time is what you are selling. Time is what you are scaling. It is unfortunate for us here in Nigeria. We don't know that. What you are selling is time. You are not just selling skills. It's your time. So when you resume in an office, they pay you at the end of the month. What you have sold is your time for 1 month. So what you are selling is time. And if you are not conscious of that, you will realize that it is difficult for you to be successful or become rich. Because if you don't have respect for time, time is what we exchange for money. So in your head, you should not be thinking of how do I make money per month. You should be thinking, how do I get paid per hour? How do I get paid per minute? How do I get paid per seconds? That's how they think in their head. That's why if you go to the Western world, they clock in. It's not like Nigeria where you know that you resume at 8 and you close by 5. And between that 8 and 5, 4 hours out of it, you are on social media. Or you are just lazing around the office. It's only in Nigeria that happens. It doesn't happen out there. Your 4 hours, you must be working that 4 hours. If it's 5 hours, you are working that 5 hours. That 5 hours, I'm being honest with you. I have some of my friends who, they are working in like supermarket after they left Nigeria. The guy said, where I am, that 5 hours, if they want you to stand, you have to stand. There's no need to say, let me sit down for 20 minutes or 10 minutes. That 5 hours that you are saying you are working, you are standing for that 5 hours. Even if no activity is happening, they expect you to stand. And it is because most of us, we have not started thinking. Let's do a simple mathematics. Please come. So that you start thinking differently. If she works in an organization and she earns 200,000 naira in that organization, is it a good money? Abi, it's a good money. Am I right? Yes, to some people it's a good money. To me, it's fair enough. But 200,000 is a good money. You understand me? Now, 200,000, somebody do that mathematics. She's earned 200,000. Can you please help me divide it by 28 days? 200,000 divided by 28 days. Let them help you with the mathematics. 7,000. Let's say 7,000 plus. That is what that person is earning per day for 24 hours. Help me divide it by 24. It's not up to 300 naira. That is how much you are earning per minute. Per hour, rather. You are earning less than 200 naira per hour. So you think you are sitting in an office. You are like that man that is pushing truck inside market. You think you are in a AC. You are pushing truck in the market, but a professional truck pusher. Yes. That's how you calculate your time. That's how you calculate your time. Because you are looking at, they pay me 200,000 at the end of the month. But you have not taken time to look at it, that the much I am earning per hour is 200 naira. That man that is pushing truck is even earning more than you. You think he's doing a hard labor. He's earning more than you. Because in that truck pushing, he cannot collect 200 naira for 1 hour. It's in the sun. Kaya alone to carry load inside market. From inside market to your car, they collect 500 naira. Just to carry it from inside. So that man that carried that load from inside market into your car for just less than 20 minutes is earning more than you. But you call yourself a professional because you don't break your time down according to hour and per minute or per second. That's how you should be earning. Thank you very much. So take your time and look at yourself. You should be earning per minute, per second. That's what should be going in your head. That's why you see some people, when they come into organization, they've done their mathematics. You are talking to them, and they tell you, my salary is 1.5 million per month. And you'll be wondering, what are you going to do that they will pay you 1.5 million per month? Because such person have done a mathematics in his or her head and wants to know how much am I earning per hour? How much is your hour worth? Some of us, even as we are seated here, our 1 hour is just 1 hour of free talk. I'm telling you, some of us here, it's just 1 hour of free talk. That's why in my office, I always tell them, anything that is free talk is only on Thursday between 12 and 2 o'clock. If you cannot fit into that between 12 and 2 o'clock, there's no free talk. That's the free talk I can do. That's the free talk I can do. I can leave my WhatsApp chat. If I look at your chat, like I know that this chat is just free, I can leave it for 2 days. It's none of my business. It doesn't add to my time. I can leave it for 2 days. Because you must learn to understand that it is time that you are selling. You are not getting younger per day. If you work in an organization, with all due respect, and you are not getting salary increase every 6 months, there's a problem. It's either you are not improving in your skill, or they don't value you in that organization. That's the gospel truth. There must be increase at every given period of your life, because that's how you can measure your growth. That's why we don't joke with time. Time is of essence. Time is your lifespan. That's what you are selling. So until you focus on earning within a specific time, wealth may be far away from you. Until you focus on earning within specific time. That is how you should be thinking. So I am sorry if you feel bad that a bricklayer that is carrying block for 30 minutes and they pay him 1,000 naira in that 30 minutes is any more than you that is sitting comfortably in one fine office and AC on your head. So focus energy on making sure that you are earning per second, per minute, or at worst per hour. Only average people earn per month. Only average people. They are the only one that earn per month. So even if you are earning per month, you must know the quality of what you are getting for the time that you are putting in that organization. So it's important that you start looking at that area of your life. We don't have much time in that area. I would have explained to you what we call life plan. Because some of us, we don't know what we call life plan. Let me just summarize it. Every human being starts from age 0 to age 65. Age 65 is the age of retirement. At 65, research believes that at 65, your muscles are weak. Then at 65, your brain starts reducing in its function. That's where you see some people experience memory loss and all that. So the same strength you had when you were younger cannot be. That's why they fit the age of retirement for 60 to 65. So that you can go and rest. But what they call it, retirement. Retirement means you get to a place where you go and rest. And then all the effort you have put in from age 0 to that age will begin to pay for your retirement. That's why they have what they call retirement plan in some organization, where at the end they give you pension and all that. But now, on a life plan scale, from age 0 to age 30, we call it the age of adventure. We call it the age of adventure, age 0 to age 30. That's the age where you can do whatever you feel like doing. You can follow somebody to Sokoto. You can follow somebody to do whatever you feel like doing between that period of that age. But from age 30 to age 60, it is the age of precision. That is the age where you know exactly what you want to do. You are not confused. You know, this is what I want to spend the rest of my life doing. This is where I want to spend my time. At age 30 to age 60. Now, ordinarily, for you to create wealth, it takes minimum of 25 years for you to create wealth. So if it takes minimum of 25 years for you to create wealth, in our society, we don't get past the age of adventure, even when we are over 30. Why? Because even as we speak, we have some people in Nigeria that at 35, they are still living with their parents. So they are still experiencing what we call the age of adventure in their 35. Mark Zuckerberg became a rich man in his early 20s. Why? Because he started his age of precision from age 5. At age 5, when me and you were playing with toys, he was already coding at age 5. So by the time he was getting to 20, he was already spending like 15 to 20 years that is involved in the creating of wealth. I don't know if you are getting my point. I wish I have a board where I can pull that out. You understand me? But some of us right now, if, for example, you are 35, or let's say, for example, you are 40. If you are 40, you have 20 years before retirement. And it takes 25 years to build wealth. So meaning that you are already behind schedule. You are behind time. And that's where some of us are. We are behind time already. So there is no guarantee. No matter how hard you work, there's no guarantee that you may be able to meet up. Because you have 5 years short already. That's why when you get to investment in life, the kind of investment an investment planner will advise such kind of person will be different from investment that will advise somebody who is 25. Somebody who is 25, you can say you are still young, you are still 25, you still have like 45 or 40 years before retirement, so you are good. You have 20 extra years or 15 extra years. So you can put your money in fixed deposit and leave it there. You are secure. But if you are 45, you say, no. At 45, you are less than the age that you need to build prosperity or build wealth. So you probably need to put your own money in something that is going to produce for you on time. You understand me? That's where the terminology volatile investment comes from. Because they created those volatile investments because they know that some people are beyond that age of where they are supposed to build prosperity for themselves or build wealth for themselves. It takes minimum of 25 years to build wealth for yourself. So 25 years to 65. So your age, 65 minus your age, will tell you how long you have, whether you still have time to play around or you need to be serious or focused on everything that you are doing. So that is that on time management. You must understand that you must learn how to manage every day of your life. Then the last point we are going to discuss there is relationship and people management, social capital and networking. Relationship and people's management, social capital and networking. We'll try and look at that within this short period, then we can take questions. The highest form of currency is social capital. That is the highest form of currency. You know, when I see people, when they are chasing fiat currency, that is this paper currency, I laugh. Because that is the lowest form of currency. The wealthy people, they don't use that currency. That currency, for them, it is a tool to achieve what they want. The highest form of currency is social capital. Now, what do we mean by social capital? The kind of individual that you have been able to build around your economy, that's what we call social capital. The kind of people that you have been able to build around your economy, that's what we call social capital. So, as a young man, as a young woman, what should be going through your head is, how do I build a social capital, an economy that can safeguard me in the future? What do I mean by that economy? I need 3 people. 3 people, please just come. 3 people, just volunteer yourself to come. Just 3 people. Oh yeah, now. 3 people, 3 people. So that you understand what I mean by social capital. Come. So, let's assume this is social capital. Let's assume this is Bishop. You understand me? This is Bishop in church. This is Pastor Leke, Daddy Gio's son. This is Daddy Gio. So, because I know Bishop, I can reach Daddy Gio. That's social capital. You understand me? So I don't have to know Daddy Gio direct. I know Bishop that I've invested in the relationship. Bishop knows Pastor Leke that he has invested in the relationship. Pastor Leke is the son of Daddy Gio. All I need to say, Bishop, one of my life dreams is to meet Daddy Gio. Can you help me achieve that? I know Pastor Leke is your friend. I don't know if you are getting me. Bishop goes to Pastor Leke and said, I have one of my ministers in my church. His life dream is that he wants to meet Daddy. You are the son of Daddy. What will Leke say? Leke will say, tell him to come to camp at 10 p.m. tomorrow. Me and Daddy will be sitting down. And you see, you naturally meet Daddy. That is what, thank you. That is what you should be focusing your attention to build. Social capital. Investing in people that you know that when you want to harness their network, you don't need to do too much work. Not too much activity. Some of us, as we are seated here, you have a chain of network. Number 1 person in this country. I hope you know that. Some of us, we have that chain of network that leads you to the number 1 person in this country. Say, if you want to see Buhari today, you have that chain of network, but you don't know because you have not taken time to pay attention to your social capital. So when you are meeting people, You must have what we call people's management, relationship management. Not be only you sabi verse pass. You understand me? You must learn what we call emotional intelligence. What does emotional intelligence simply mean? It means that every other person can be mad, but you have to be sane because you know what you can assess through that person. You must have your diplomatic way of talking to people, of approaching people, because you don't want to burn a bridge that can become a social capital tomorrow. And we leverage on that social capital every day. Some of us, we don't know. When you ask Madam B and say, oh, Madam B, where do you think they sell these glasses you wear? That's social capital. Some people, if you don't have a good relationship with them, they will never tell you in a lifetime. And you can go around in circle in what should have been an opportunity for you. That's why when people tell me that they are out of job, I laugh. Because if you have good social capital, you can't be out of job. You may not find the appropriate job, but you find a job as fast as you can. Why? Because you have social capital. So at this point of your life, you must invest in that. Social people that you know that, oh, they are the ones that can help me to get to where I am going faster. You might need to work for them for free. You might need to give their time for them for free because they are the one that can link you up to where you are going. I'm being very honest with you. That's how it works. That's how it works. So, and that's the way, if you look at your life, it is connected like that. So you must walk with that consciousness as a young person. What is my social capital? What is my economy saying to me? If I need to raise 500 million now, do I have the capacity? Do I have the social capital? So then you need to start building the social capital. So when I meet people, the first thing I am thinking is, what is the social capital of this person? Some of them is just by their son name alone. Once I hear their son name, I say, this son name. I quickly, sorry, are you related to so? Oh, you are not related, no problem. But I want to know what is your economy. Because the truth, I learned it the hard way. Submit proposal in 200 places. No one will come back. Submit it, job application in 200 places. No one will call you. But you know that you can speak to this person. Say, oh, I need a job. I know you know this person. Can you help me talk to that person if I can have a placement in their place? I've seen people sit in front of decision makers because they leverage on their social capital. Nothing more. That's what you see these rich people protect with everything that they have inside of them. When you see them throw glamorous...
We have different kind of people. So while you're leveraging on your relationship, like investing on your relationships. So, for instance, you have a kind of person that makes you look, they make you look, like stupid, or I don't want to use that word, like useless in quotes. So, and because you still want to keep yourself or keep the relationship. I mean, I don't know, how do you tend to not to just abandon the relationship because you are trying to build your social capital? Do you understand what I'm trying to ask?
You have somebody at the top, you are here, you are leveraging on that person's social capital.
No, it might not even be necessary someone at the top. Maybe your clique of yes.
Okay, now, when we talk about social capital, we should be talking about friendship. You understand me? I always tell people there are three kinds of friends. We have one, friends for a season. Friends for a season is the fact that we are living in the same apartment. Let's say the way I'm living and there are other tenants. We are not friends. They are not my friends. Ask my wife. They are not my friends. So I just know that we are there together for that season. You understand me? Because friendship must grow. So that's friends for a season. So I know where I kept them. So there are some things they say to me, they don't mean anything to me. You can tell me, Mr. Alfred, I saw him yesterday. His shoe has bent. I don't have discussion with such person. It's not my friend. Whatever that person says makes no sense to me. And there are people like that they are the one that kept themselves there. You understand me? That you don't remember my birthday, it makes no sense to me. You are not my friend. That's why you don't remember it. You get my point? If I don't remember yours too, it shows me where you are in my life. Maybe where I kept you is not in the list of people I will remember. You get my point? I'm going somewhere to answer. Then we have friends by reason. So it is reason. Something happened. That's why we are friends. Like I have some people like that now. Because of the nature of the business I am doing now, it's as if we are becoming close. They are not my friends yet. Because it's that thing that we are doing that brought us to be talking. Ordinarily, we are not supposed to be talking. I don't know if you are getting my point. So I know their place and I know the things I'm supposed to be discussing with them. It doesn't go beyond that reason. So even if we are like 3 or 4, I'm being practical, and they are discussing things that is beyond that reason, they just notice that I stand up, I walk away. Because we have not gotten to that level. Then we have friends for a lifetime. That is people that they have earned my trust and my respect. So they are part of my life. You get my point? So those are the people I can guide jealously. That if they don't call me on my birthday, I can be upset. Now, why didn't you call me on my birthday? Because where I have placed you. You get my point? Now, then that position also is not a guaranteed position. It's not salvation. That is for a lifetime. You can fall off from that position. You understand me? By the time you start exercising the trait of somebody that is not supposed to be in that position. So if you can categorize people in your life into all this, you will know the people that some things they say, they don't mean anything to you. They are not even in your place of friends for a lifetime, where you say, I hold on to what they are saying. It's important to me. So I can have somebody in my network because I know that this person has a network, but he talks anyhow. You understand me? He talks anyhow. So what I do at every given point in time, I make sure I create a situation where I don't permit that talking anyhow to me. And if I cannot control it, I know that you are not even somebody I respect. But that's your social network. In case I need to access it. That's why you are there. I don't know if you understand me. So because you can't push relationship away. You understand me? I have a particular friend. I think my wife may remember. Once he comes to my building those days. Oloshi, where from door, he's shouting. You understand me? I've known him for over 20 years. We are still friends. But I know where I kept him. You understand me? Because if I need something that I know is within his capacity, I can easily access it.
Praise God. So I have like 2 questions. So first is that, you had mentioned earlier that that if we are working in a place and we are not getting salary increases, say every 6 months, then we are probably not doing enough. So I know that in reality business environments, it's not really visible, or if it is actually possible, maybe you should shed light on what we can do, how we can do it to ensure every six months our companies are increasing our salaries. Then also, is there something as overcharging for your value? So, or is there, if I want to charge for my value, the value I want to give you now, should I scout around to know how much are people willing to pay, or I should just stick to what I want, or I should look for people that can pay for my value. Praise God.
Okay. To answer the first question, I always tell people, if all you are doing in an organization is what they employ you to do, then you can be replaced. It's as simple as that. If what you are doing in an organization is what is in your JD, it's easier for them to replace you, because you are just fitting into a fragment of a structure that, like when you have a conveyor belt carrying bottles, you are one of those bottles. So if you fall anyhow, they can remove you and the conveyor belt will continue. So in an organization, it is important that you start looking for how to do more beyond. Get to that point where if you are not in the office cannot run. I don't know if you understand me. So that's where you must get to as an employee. There are some people, that's why we call them high-priced employee. Without them, if they are not in the, office doesn't even permit them to go on vacation. Their phone cannot stop ringing if they are on vacation. I have one of my wife's friends. Even when she's sitting with you, she's working on her laptop. She doesn't have time where they'll say, she's free, she's not doing anything. And there are people like that also. So it's easier for people like that, for them to put in words for themselves and say, for this period of time, I've been able to do this for an organization. I think I need salary increase. It's normal in an organization for you to ask. And if you are not getting it, you also need to consider an organization where if there is no growth system in that organization, then you shouldn't stay long there. Growth system means that you can always get promotion, but not an organization where you are an office executive, and that office executive, that's what you've been for 6 years. So even if they want to add something, they are not doing any magic. They just add maybe 5,000 because they feel, she's working hard, but you are an office executive. So you must find an organization where you know that you can challenge yourself, you can grow beyond yourself, and you can give more. Take, for example, not because he's here, if you look at somebody like Pastor Kenny, I've watched him over the years. Go and look at his track record. Probably when he started, from what I know, I think Human Capital, that place maybe just like a one-man business. Maybe 2 or 3 of them. You understand me? Gradually he realized. But where he is right now is a multinational organization. And if you ask him, he has still not gotten to where he wants to go. And also when you ask him, he's somebody that he has not submitted a CV somewhere before say, I am looking for a job. You get my point? Because he's giving probably more than what is expected of him, and he's being recognized, and he's gradually moving. At some point, he realized that, if I need to be relevant in this industry, I need to have a book to my name. He had a book to his name. You understand me? Because at that point now, where he is now, with a book to his name, he's an author. An author is a professional. Some of us don't know the meaning of that author. Now, authorship means that when you get a PhD, they ask you to write a book. That is your own theory concerning a particular field. That's what authorship is equivalent to. Some of these top organizations, they are HR, they know these things. You understand me? So if you have written a book in a particular field, it means that you are an authority. That ordinarily has added value to you. I don't know if you are getting my point. So it is either you should be doing more than what is expected of you in that organization, so that when you can put in word for yourself, it becomes relevant. And if it's not being heard, and you realize that, through me, this organization is making more, then you can move to another organization. Nobody plant your feet there. You can change organization, but build a career. I don't know if that is clear. Then secondly, we have different kind of pricing. We have what we call premium pricing. Premium pricing is that the person doesn't give a crap of how much they are charging in the industry. He just believes that I'm premium. When you look at this South African guy, Vusi is a premium price speaker. He doesn't care how much they are charging in the industry. If he comes and he tells you, I want to collect 5 million, it's 5 million. It's none of his business. He's not asking you how much you pay consultants for this kind of a job. That's premium pricing. Then we have pricing per the industry. When you look at the industry, you now look at, okay, people in my level, how much are they charging? We have several like that, about 4 or 5 like that. Pricing by industry, pricing by product, all those things, they have it. So you must know where you fit in. But if you must charge premium pricing, it means that you must give premium branding for them to be able to pay that premium pricing. Take, for example, you can look at, before we have somebody like Vuzi, we have people like Feladro Toye. We have people like Leke Oda, we have people like them. You understand me? They too, they charge good money. But for heaven's sake, if you watch one video of Vuzi, one video alone can cost him like close to 2 million. You now tell him to come and collect how much? I don't know if you are getting me. Then this guy runs Fortune 500 companies. Not 1, not 2, not 3. He has an investment company that is worth over 700 billion in his investment portfolio. So if he's coming into your office, you can't compare him to somebody that is running a consulting firm. That is just, I don't know if I don't want to mention name, but that's how you charge in the industry. So you can't just wake up and say, I want to charge so particular amount. Except you want to charge premium, and you give premium for whatever you are charging. So any other question? If no other question, please let us. Okay. Let's just take that one last question and we can move on.
Praise the Lord. Praise the living Jesus. I want to ask that if an individual, for example now, if I'm a true born-again Christian, like, I don't want to engage myself in, like, some business transaction. Like, okay, we want to contribute money in our class now. That I should not say that, okay, boss is you want to collect the cash. How can I put myself in that shoe as an individual that, okay, what mo fẹ́ dá lélẹ̀ pé potential tí mo ní nìyẹn o, pé okay, tí boss bá fẹ́ dáwó ńsìn, pé báwo la ṣe máa explain àwọn owó tá fẹ́ dá sí owó boss ìjọ wájú, that how would boss now come and explain that kind of thing to them, that okay, this is what boss did in the class, this is how boss that as a Christian, how would you express yourself? How would you tell your friends that, okay, this is what boss did in class, this is what boss did in church, this is what you used to do in class, that how can we express ourselves as Christians? Thank
okay. That question is a bit confusing, but I believe that question had to do with question of personality. Christian, we have our standard, and you work with the Christian standard. You understand me? So there is no way in business, we don't have a way of saying, I can trust Alfred. In business, what speaks more is documentation, not your personality. That's why you can see a criminal assess millions of naira, because it is the document and the organization that is assessing it, not the criminal. You understand me? But if you are a Christian, you have your Christian code, your Christian personality. So if you need to assess money, you leverage on that, your Christian code. But it doesn't take away the fact that, the branding that you need or the documentation that you need for you to assess that money must also be put in place. What brings money out from anything in an organization is the platform, not the individual. Let's just bow down our head and just say a word of prayer. Just pray to God that, Lord, all that I've heard this evening, you will help me to implement in the mighty name of Jesus. Area of my life where I am lacking, Lord, you will help me in the mighty name of Jesus.
In Jesus' name we pray.